gun. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon? Yeah, it's afternoon. It just turned 12. We're back finally after like 2 years. We finally have a new Gunboxing. It's been a while. You know, for personal reasons. But here we have my first gun purchase in Tennessee. There's my dog. What's up, girl? You want to say hi to the people? There we go. Say what's up to the people. Look. So, here we have our new gun. Now, this is going to be interesting for you guys that have been here on my gun journey all the way since day one, since I got my first gun back in June of 2019. And I'll give you a little bit of backstory on that while I'm, checking this gun out, right? So, I got this from Bass Pro Shops. I got it well under MSRP, by the way. So let's crack it open and I can show you guys what it is. Cut that red tape. Yeah. Let's open her up. Oh, Billy. No, we don't want a laser. Don't want a holster. I'm not going to carry this gun, by the way. Here's the manual. We don't need the manual. Youth Handgun Safety Act Notice from the ATF. I don't have kids, so limited lifetime warranty. Cool. Alright, so here is the lock to take because Bass Pro Shop, for some reason, they have two locks that they include. One that comes with the gun, and then one that that they have in store for some reason. So it comes with this little circular thing. So I just gotta, and we're gonna throw it away because it's useless, dumb. It's useless and dumb and stupid and dumb and stupid and dumb and stupid. Man, it's gonna be interesting because if you know how I started, yeah, take this off right here. I'm already familiar. Trust me, I am familiar with this gun. All right, take that out. Oh man, this is interesting. My day ones know. This gun is basically a newer version of the first gun I ever bought back in 2019. And that is, this gun is the Taurus G3. Oh, Billy. The Taurus G3. Built in Bainbridge, Georgia, which I have higher hopes for this gun because it was built in Bainbridge, Georgia, which I heard the Miami, Florida facility, that one had some issues, I heard. But they've been pretty good since they moved to Georgia is what I've heard. But if you remember, my first handgun was a Taurus G2C, which is the subcompact version of this gun that came out well before this gun came out. And then that gun was based off of like a 15-year-old platform at the time. But let's check out the ergos on this thing. Let's check this out. We got the slide release right here. Safety right here. A manual safety, which I don't carry a gun with a manual safety on it. I carry a Glock 19, so not a fan of that. Of course, we got the trigger right here with the dingus. And there's a mag release. Then they got the Taurus, what they call the Taurus memory pads, where your fingy goes when you're resting it, and then your resting hand or your non-dominant hand, your thumb goes on that memory pad. So that's cool. Then your thumb goes there. Okay, cool. It's not ambidextrous, unfortunately. The slat release does not go on the other side. This hand grip is the grip is very aggressive. Taurus Armas, made in Brazil, but manufactured in Bainbridge, Georgia. Cool. Got an accessory rail here. Sights, if I'm not mistaken, give me a second. If I'm not mistaken, If I'm not mistaken, these are Glock sights. I think these are Glock sights. Or Glock compatible sights, at least. Yeah, I think this gun is Glock sight compatible, which is cool. Very cool. Actually, while we got the Glock out, let's compare how thick these guns are. Now, as you can see, how do I do this? As you can see, the Glock is a little bit thicker than the Taurus G3. A little bit, the G3 is a little bit longer. Yeah. I'm definitely not carrying the G3. I am not carrying the G3. Because for a multitude of reasons, I'm not carrying it. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, so let's check this out. Because it's interesting because I've always loved the ergonomics of the G2C, but it just didn't have that reliability, you know, where the extractor, this part right here, this little hook right here on the G2C broke. They're trying to shoot steel cased ammo out of it, and that extractor did not like it. So I'm hoping with the Bainbridge, Georgia one, it's going to be a little bit more reliable, and especially because it's been a few years since this gun has come out, so this is not a Gen 1 version, because the Gen 1 version had different sights. It had like similar sights to like the G2C. So let's go ahead and make sure she's empty. See this see this trigger pull. See what it's like. Oh, there's a lot of. Okay, that's one thing. There's a lot of slop before we get to the wall. See how there's just a bunch of mush, just a bunch of mashed potatoes right before we hit the wall. Excuse me. So let's see. Okay. The brake is nice. Very short reset too. But that slop, just that whole just wall of Jello pudding just in the way before you get to the wall. I don't like that. Slide is very nice, and that's one thing I've always liked about the slide, is that it's not a very, you know, wound up slide where the tension is really tight. It moves very smooth. Now, here's one thing. It's interesting. This gun has second strike capability. So say you pull the trigger and no bang. Just click no bang. Instead of having to rack the slide, you could just do this again. Just keep doing that. But the thing is that, like, with the second pull, now it's a double action pull where the wall is right here, and you have to pull really hard to break. Okay. So there's that. But overall, I've always loved the ergonomics of this gun. It's just the original G2C was, 1, too small, and 2, not reliable. So I got rid of it, and instead I primarily carried my Canic. Let's see this safety. Safety is a nice. Engage is very nice. It's a very nice engagement. Good tactile response. That's one thing I love about this gun. This gun is like a finely crafted video game controller in terms of the feedback that it gives you with everything that you do on it. Like slide release. That slide release is not as stiff as the G2C, which is great because the G2C's slide release had to be broken in. But slide release is nice. Safety is nice. Trigger, except for all that slop that's like a PS4's like a PS4's trigger. You know, then it clicks nice. Reset is nice and tactile. And then that restrike is double action. It's like a double action pull. So let's see. Let's take it apart. Feel strip it. It's very similar in Glock, except for it's you have to pull the tabs down first, then pull the trigger, and then it goes forward, and you can take it apart. Now let's look here. This gun comes bone dry from the factory. There's like no oil in here. They put like no oil in this thing. This recoil spring is definitely higher quality than the G2Cs when I first got that. Yeah, they put like 0 oil on this, so I'm gonna oil this up. before I take it shooting. Barrel is nice. I mean, the barrel is just literally just a piece of metal, so it better be nice. So yeah, that looks cool. That looks cool. So you just slide it back on, and she's good to go. Now, she comes with 2 magazines. 2 15-round magazines. Well, this one did. I heard there's a 15-round and a 17-round magazine. Then there's a 10-round magazine, and now there's a 15 times 2 magazine. So I'm glad I got this one because I personally prefer. I'm trying to make sure I don't put that on camera because they're kind of finicky about seeing magazines be inserted. But I prefer 15-round magazines or guns that accept 15-round magazines because the best part about that is that you can accept 15-round magazines and 17-round magazines. Well, if you get like a full-size duty-size gun like the Glock 17, you can only take 17-round magazines. So that's pretty dumb. So yeah, magazines are nice quality. They're made by Metgar, which, hold that thought. So, I've heard something interesting, right? I've heard that the Taurus and the Canik have magazines that are compatible with each other. Now the thing is that the Taurus definitely has a magazine catch that's, yeah, it's definitely slimmer than the Canik. This is a Canik mag, this is a Taurus mag. The magazine catch is clearly smaller on the Taurus. So by that reasoning, that means the Canik mag should fit perfectly fine on the Taurus mag, right? Oh, look at that. It does. The Taurus takes the Canik mags. Now there's a little bit of free play. That's one thing I don't like about the Taurus is that you hear all that loose tolerance. While you have something like the Canik here, there's no loose tolerances. There's just general wiggling. Well, this one is like there's some loose tolerances in there. I'm not a fan of that, but that's just me. That's just a personal thing. So it takes the Canik mag perfectly fine. And then this is a 17-round Canik mag. Takes it. Now the interesting question is, because I find it hard to buy a $50 magazine for this gun, so let's see how it responds to a Taurus mag. No, it doesn't work. But it is interesting that the Taurus does take Canik mags. It's just that it doesn't go the other way around. Canik does not take Taurus mags. Who is this gun for? This gun is for the budget-minded. Me personally, this is not a gun I'm going to carry. It's not a gun I'm going to be interested in, like, using for any serious, like, you know, like end of the world scenario type of stuff. This is more of a truck gun, like a backup gun, you know, that like it's in the same vein as my Canik, my Glock 19. But what it is that it's a great budget gun. It's for someone who just needs a low entry fee into the world of handguns. It's got nice ergonomics. Trigger pull is okay. Now it's got a manual safety for all you people that are afraid of putting one in the chamber or, you know, having a gun without a safety. There's a safety, so you got that. It takes down just like a Glock, so that's cool. And for this one, the MSRP on this one is $340 something, but I got it for like $279 plus tax. There's tax in there too. Tax, and apparently you got to pay $10 for a background check. I did not know that, but yeah, for this $279, it's pretty good. Pretty good. If you need a low entry fee kind of gun, just, you know, you need a gun, and you know you can't justify paying $600 for like a Glock or a Smith & Wesson M&P or something like that. Here you go. This is something that, like, I probably would have picked this as my first gun because it's a nice, you know, I got a nice full grip on the gun. Good purchase on it. I like that. I like that. I like guns that are this size. It's not too big, not too small. And then on top of that, this is also a gun for someone who can only afford one gun, right? So you need a gun for concealed carry, this works. You need a gun for home defense, this works. Put a flashlight right here. You need a gun for duty. I personally wouldn't, but this works. You could put this on in a duty holster, and you know it flexes as a duty weapon. But yeah, it's a good gun. Good gun in terms of like out of the box impressions, but I'm gonna take it to the range probably next month or something like that once I can get my hands on some more ammo. I don't think there's anything else in the box, just the 2 magazines, and then you know a bunch of the usual useless stuff that comes with a gun that I never use. Yeah. Oh, and the box itself is literally just a cardboard box. It's just a box. Which is unfortunate because my Canic came in this. It came in a box, you know, like an actual pistol case. So that kind of sucks. My Glock came in a pistol case, but my Ruger and Taurus and my 1911 all came in cardboard boxes. I hope it's more reliable than the last Taurus gun that I had, because it's kind of funny how my first gun in North Carolina was a Taurus G2C. My first gun in Tennessee is a Taurus G3. That's pretty funny. But yeah, more importantly, the reason why I got this gun was because I'm on a quest to collect all of my characters' guns. And this is what Isabella's gun is. This is her sidearm. And just like I explained earlier, the reason why this is her sidearm is because it's the only firearm she could afford when she first moved into the country. So this is that gun. I definitely feel more confident holding this over the G2C, because the G2C just felt like a little toy in my hand, but this actually feels like a firearm. This actually feels like a gun per se, although it's not this. If you want to step it up a little bit and get something that's a little bit more beefy and a little bit more a little bit more premium, I'd say go with the Canic. It's about $200 extra. Whoa, some oil on the slide. But I'd say go with the Canic if you want something a little bit more premium. I forgot to mention something. The front slide serrations. The front slide serrations here. My Glock 19 doesn't have these for some reason. Clear it, gotta clear it. But my Glock 19 doesn't have the front slide serrations, which makes press checking it an absolute joke. Alright, the front slide serrations are something that I really need on my Glock, which, interesting enough, Palmetto State Armory makes their own Glock clone, the PSA Dagger, and you could just order the slide assembly and just replace this. So I might do that, so I can get those front slide serrations, because watch what happens when I try to press check it. I have to use like all my strength to press check this. Well, with the G3, because there's slide serrations, I don't have to pull that hard. And of course the Canic does come with slide serrations as well, so you can press check that very easily. But I'd say, it's a good bang for your buck gun. These two guns are interesting because they're budget guns, but not budget guns in the same way. This is top of the line budget, while this is bottom of the line middle. Not bottom of the line, but this is budget mid-range. Taurus is not trying, I wouldn't say Taurus is trying to eat Canic's lunch. I'm saying Canic is trying to eat Glock's lunch. Canic is competing for the same market share that Glock has, while Taurus is more so like just trying to be the king of the budget guns, basically. So hopefully sometime soon I could take this out to the range and give you my first impressions on how it feels. If I'm not mistaken, they have a rebate on this right now, so if you want, get it now. There's like I think a $25 rebate. I think get $25 back for your purchase. So I'm just saying, if you want to see my follow-up for this and see how it shoots, stay tuned. I'm going to do that. So thank you all for watching. I guess stay tuned. It's not YouTube, so I don't have an outro here. So, if you made it this far, buy my book. I guess I don't know. See you guys later.